This is, am I the astronaut for taking back the cake I made after being treated poorly and not getting paid? This sounds like a song. Am I the astronaut for taking back the cake I made after being treated poorly and not getting paid? It's a song waiting to happen. I'm going to see if we can turn it into one. Dusty, please give me some advice on if I handled this correctly or if I should have done something different. Happy to. I, 62 female, do not have any official training in the kitchen. Everything I know I learned from my mother and from years of trial and error cooking for my husband and 8 kids, all now fully grown and out of the house. However, I have had many people tell me over the years that I'm one of the best bakers they have ever known. Pies, cakes, and other desserts are my specialty. I typically bake for fundraisers, church potluck events, and family get-togethers. I rarely bake upon request or for pay, except for a few rare occasions. And after this experience, I will probably never do it again. A good friend of mine's daughter was getting married, her second marriage, and they were having only a small ceremony in their backyard. She had apparently ordered a cake, but something happened with her order, and she wasn't able to get her cake in time for the wedding. My friend asked if I would be able to bake them a cake in just the few days before the wedding, and they would pay me what they were going to pay the baker who had fallen through. Knowing I was probably their only chance to have a decent wedding cake in time, I agreed. On the day of the wedding, I took the cake to their house around noon and assembled the 3 tiers on location. Both the bride and groom were home getting ready, along with a few other members of the wedding party. Several people saw me and spoke to me while I was setting up the cake, including the bride. Once the cake was finished, I went to track down the bride to let her know I was finished, make sure she approved, and to get paid. I had agreed to front the cost of the ingredients for the cake due to the short window of time I had to get it done. But the bride was nowhere to be found. I waited around and asked several people, but no one seemed to know where she was. I texted my friend and asked her to tell her daughter that I was looking for her. About an hour later, the bride finally came rushing through the house. I managed to stop her and let her know that the cake was finished and that I needed paid. She just looked at me and said that she thought her mom, my friend, was taking care of it. That was news to me, but I texted my friend and asked her. She said no, that her daughter would be paying me and that she was not surprised that she was trying to get out of it, but that I just need to take it up with her. Seriously? All right, that's a red flag. So your friend screwed you here. There's more to the story, but your friend screwed you here by not offering to handle that discussion with the daughter and saying, you take it up with her, screwed you. So I caught up to the bride again to tell her what her mother had said, but was met with the biggest bridezilla outburst I have ever seen. She began yelling at me about how this was her day and she didn't know why she had to pay for everything, not to mention that she did not even have any money on her, so she didn't know what I expected her to do. She said that she never even wanted a homemade granny bunt cake anyway, but her mother forced it upon her, so she should be the one to have to pay for it. Blah, 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 on and on. At this point, I just walked away. Now, it's beside the point, but my cake was not at all a granny bunt cake. It was a beautiful, 3-tiered, elegant wedding cake that I had put over 15 hours of work into, not to mention the cost of the ingredients, which was at least $150. They had originally offered to pay me $250 because that is what the bakery cake was going to cost them. I went back to the table, disassembled my cake, packed it up, and took that sucker home with me without saying a word to the bride or to my friend. I felt like I had done them a huge favor and did not deserve the berating that I got from the bride or for my friend to just leave me to deal with her myself. I felt completely unappreciated and disrespected. So what is it, Dusty? Am I an astronaut for taking the cake that I made back after being treated so poorly and not getting paid? Hell no. Hell no. No. Gosh, I'm sorry that you had to deal with this. Not the asshole at all for this. Not only did you have a bridezilla to deal with, whose mom, your friend, said she definitely had no plans on paying for it. She's not surprised that she's trying to get out of it at all. But then instead of being like, I'll handle this. No, hell no. She's like, you better just take it up with her. I'm surprised. I'm very, very surprised that your friend is making you deal with her daughter, the bride, on her wedding day. And I'm wondering what happened with the initial bakery. I'm sure that something didn't fall through. They probably required a deposit or something, and she snaked her way out of paying that. And then they said, well, sorry, you didn't pay the deposit in time. You don't get a cake. And that's what probably happened. And now she shot herself in the foot the same way. What did she expect you to do? Leave it? Oh, yeah. It's fine, sweetheart. You can just treat me like garbage and not pay for the cake that I spent tons of time and money on. I'll just leave it here as a birthday gift because I wish you the best. Oh, don't wish them the best. I don't. Nope. You don't get to treat people like that and expect them to just give you things. It doesn't happen like that. That's not how any of this works. Not at all. And I'm leaning to, yeah, I really think something happened with the bakery where they tried to snake their way out of paying for it or something. They screwed them over too, probably treated them like trash, and they told them to go pound sand. So that's why they didn't have a cake, I'm guessing. And now your friend has some groveling to do with you if she wants to remain your friend, because walking you right into the lion's den is garbage. That is absolute garbage. I don't know if she had any inkling of what was going to happen, and she did, because she said she was not surprised by it. Why the hell she would do that to you? Maybe she felt like she was torn in between her daughter, like trying to find some kind of solution for her daughter, but in the process, fed you to the wolves. That sucks. That sucks bad. And now you're out the money and the time, right? I mean, what are you going to do with this cake? I mean, eat it for sure over like a 2-month period, I guess, because it's massive. But no, they don't get to just take that. Especially after berating you. Like, okay. Yeah, your friend's an ask on one here as well. That's a terrible, shitty, evil person. To be willing to do that to a friend and to have you waste 25 hours worth of time and $150 worth of ingredients on something that she knew was going to fall apart. Yeah, you have an ask on one of the friend and her daughter right there. Same thing. She said, apple didn't fall far from the tree on this one here. Nope. Another ask on one. Where is my cake? Someone stole it? No, B. Nah.